Hello traders, welcome to this latest video on technical analysis on gold and silver. Do keep watching to the end of the video because I'm going to run through some key levels to watch on gold and silver and where I think prices are headed to next. I'm planning to add more analysis and trading tutorials on YouTube, so if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel because that's the most convenient way for you to follow what I am doing in terms of video analysis anyway. Now, as promised in my previous video, which was this one. Okay, so that would be the bearish scenario, but as I mentioned, it's looking quite bullish silver, and given the breakdown in the gold silver ratio as we saw earlier, silver is the one to watch out for now for a potential rally. Well, it has been rallying, but a potential acceleration in the rally. Okay, that's all for now. I will provide another update either by video or via a written article if things change materially in the coming days. Take care. Bye. So as promised in that video, I said I'm going to provide an update on gold and silver, and so that's why I'm creating this video now. I did mention silver was going to outperform because of the breakdown in the gold silver ratio. Well, today it's gone absolutely bonkers. Look at this. Boom. It broke the psychologically handle around 20 before testing 21, coming slightly off the highs, which is not a major surprise because people are taking profit, but massive breakout this is. Before we talk more about silver, let's go look at the gold silver ratio. Last time we looked at it, it was trading around, I don't know where it was, I think around 95 something, and I said it's gonna break lower because of the way price action was shaping, and lo and behold, it has broken down. And so whenever the gold silver ratio is going down, it means that silver is the one to watch for outperformance. But you know, it doesn't necessarily mean gold is kind of falling. Well, it hasn't. Gold has also been going higher, and I think it's going to at least test the 2011 record high. I think it may even reach the 2000 mark, which is a level I had previously indicated that it might get to based on some fundamental reasons that I shared in the previous video. That was my target, by the way, from ages ago, from when prices broke out of this range here in 2019. Obviously a lot has changed, but I think the change has been positive for gold, so I continue to expect prices will rise further. Initially I think my target would be 1920, the 2011 high, because gold is, you know, quite close to that level now, and you know, as well as all the major fundamental reasons, you know, falling interest rates, inflation rising, or expectations about inflation rising, and so on, because of a stimulus. You know, technically, gold has been making higher highs and higher lows. The trend is getting stronger by the day. We don't need obviously the moving averages to tell us what the trend is. We can see that with from price action itself. And you know, recently gold came up to this 1800 level, psychologically important level. It consolidated around that level for a while before breaking through this consolidation pattern to the upside. So what I'm interested in now is, can it hold a breakout? And so the key level I'm watching now is 1818-ish, which was previously resistance here, and today we've broken above it. So it's likely that gold may come back down in the next few days, doing something like this. Before extending higher. It doesn't have to come all the way back down to this key level of support. It could pull back a little bit. In fact, the less it
pulls back from its highs, the more bullish it will be, right? Because it would indicate that the buyers are in full control of price action. So that's what I'm looking for. But one thing I don't particularly like about today's breakout is the way it's gone up. You see if the hourly candle, massive spike here. Usually when it spikes like that, it encourages people to take profit. So we may see some profit taking action later on today, which could see prices come back down a little bit. But I have seen crazy moves in the market. I wouldn't be surprised if this just keeps going up and up and up until it gets to that 1920 or higher. Potentially, even today, I mean, yes, we are like, I don't know, $80 or whatever away from that level, but I have seen crazy moves in the markets before, so I'm not ruling anything out at the moment. So yeah, at the moment, price action is obviously bullish. At what point will we turn bearish? Well, there's a rising trend here. If we go below it, then I think that might be a bearish development in the short term anyway. But more to the point, I would be looking at price action right here. If we break through this recent low, this was the most recent low that was created prior to the breakout. So if gold were to break below that level, I think at that point I would drop my bullish view on the market. It wouldn't necessarily be a long-term development. It may turn to a long-term bearish development. Who knows? But in the short term, I think that would be bearish. So that's my invalidation level. For as long as we therefore hold above that level, I would remain bullish on gold in the short term outlook. Ideally, I don't want gold to come all the way down to this level or get near this level. Ideally, I want 18 now to hold as support. If prices pull back before continuing higher. So that's my view on gold. Nothing's changed from the previous video. Silver, where were we last time? I think it was trading around 1850-ish. I said that it's very likely that silver was going to break this double top high because of the way price had approached it. Specifically, I said if we get a hammer candle, a daily hammer candle like this at this resistance, I wouldn't necessarily turn bearish on gold, on silver rather. And we did form a bearish candle like that on the daily chart of silver, but we've seen similar patterns like here, for example, here. They haven't worked out for the sellers. These patterns have proven to be a trap for the sellers, and so when this was formed, I didn't really change my view, and lo and behold, silver went up, consolidated a bit for a bit above the prior resistance, which is 19, or the area around 19, and then it broke higher again. Now, some of the ledgers that I provide trade signals to, they were able to take advantage of the latest breakout in silver. In fact, we had a long-term position in silver, which we managed really good. I think we kept raising the stop below the most recent lows as prices made higher highs and higher lows. But a few days ago, it created this hammer candle here, and we issued another bullish trade based on that because it held support and it broke higher. So let me just quickly show you that in case you haven't seen it. Where is it? There you go. So this was the trade signal that I posted, showed the entry level, the invalidation, and the main objective. I said in the post that if you're aiming for higher, your first objective is 20. So some of the ledgers in this group are undoubtedly holding silver long, and it has worked out for them. The previous one was this one. We entered around this area here. Initially, the invalidation was here, and as prices made higher highs and higher lows, we kept moving the invalidation level higher and higher and higher. When it hit our first objective on this particular day, I moved the invalidation level further higher once we broke above that. And then a few days ago, when the inverted hammer was created, I moved it literally below that to see if it will get to our extended objective, which it did. You know, it's not just silver, by the way, or gold, because I've created lots of videos on gold and silver. People will be wondering, you know, what about crude oil or FX? Well, as you can see here, this one, for example, is on Brent. Actually, I posted this several days ago when prices were falling because of the way price action was looking. I said, you know, it's gonna find some support around here, but if it doesn't, we don't want to be in this trade should it go below this low here, below the 21-day exponential and the most recent low prior to the breakout. So from there, what happened? From there, we you know, formed this hammer-like candle. By now, our entry was triggered. It went a little bit against us, yeah, but it never got to the invalidation level. And then today, it no, still not quite there. So our objective was at 45, which is still the same, remains the same, just below the gap there, and because it's a psychologically important level, so that's where our objective is for crude oil. Yeah, so I just showed you this because you know, I do provide other trade signals. You know, for FX traders, we had you know, I've been talking about the dollar CAD as well because it's been showing weakness. The dollar has been weakening because of the ongoing risk on sentiment. Created this large bearish candle, found some support around the 200-day, but I said in this post here that it's going to rise a little bit and then potentially go down. So I posted a trade idea based on the daily to go short on the rounded retest of these lows. What happened is dollar CAD actually went a little bit deeper than I thought. It never got to the invalidation level, which is good, before dropping. And today it hit our target. And if I show you that, yeah, before hitting our target, what I did is I moved the invalidation level lower to reduce the risk of this trade going against us. And then just now, a few moments ago, when the video was produced, it hit the target. Now the target was based on the rounded retest of this doji candle, which could be a potential support because of how price had rallied away from it without retesting it on the daily time frame. So I said if it breaks down, then you know, that would be our main objective. Yes, it could go a lot lower from here because of the way the dollar has been behaving, the US dollar, but that's our main objective. So what I'll be looking for now is a potential move up back to the previous week's low and support, old support, for a potential move down to target the most recent lows here. I haven't issued a trade signal on that, but I may do so later on. But now let's go back to silver. So silver has broken out decisively. Where is it going to head from here? Now, the way it's gone up like this, you know, you don't need the RSI to tell you price action is clearly overbought. People will be taking some profit. So if you have missed this, you know, it's never too late to get on board, obviously. But the thing is, you should not chase the market, especially after a move like that. You know, this thing could just literally go up for the next several days, but getting on board is going to be tricky if you're not already in it. Getting on board right now, at this time of the day, it's going to be a little bit tricky, to say the least. So my advice would be, if you are looking to buy or go long silver, you may do so using smaller time frames for your invalidation, like the hourly or so. But obviously, the trend is clearly bullish. So I wouldn't advise against selling it unless we have a confirmed bearish reversal pattern unfolded at these or lower levels. Ideally on the daily time frame, what I want to see next is a pullback. I don't, it doesn't have to get down all the way to here, because if it did go down all the way to here, it would indicate that the buyers have lost a bit of control. What I want to see here is literally a few days of consolidation now near the highs. I'd like to see price making smaller lower lows to potentially trap sellers. Once it does that, creates a low, for example here, it goes below it, and then if it goes back above, that would give me the signal that the sellers are trapped again, and then I would look into an intraday chart to look for bullish setups to take us even higher. So that's one potential scenario. Another potential scenario would be if it drifts lower over the next few days, back down to 20 or even 1950s, this area of prior resistance, which could turn into support. And I would be looking to fade that dip to take us higher. Looking at the much longer time frame now, okay, the weekly. In fact, if you go to the monthly time frame, this is, let me just get rid of this. This looks really bullish, guys. We had an area of consolidation around here for a number of years. Okay, so from 2013, even from the middle of 2013 all the way to the middle of 2020, that's like almost 7 years, price of silver has been consolidating in this range. But this is where things have changed really dramatically for the bulls, because from this consolidation, silver tried to break lower right there, right? It was immediately rejected and it went back into the range. At that point, obviously the outlook for silver changed to bullish, and now it's kind of testing the high of the range. So the sellers had or the bears had more than 6 years to push the price of silver down, but they failed to do so. When price consolidates for this long and then you get a reversal stick like this, usually you would see a massive move in the opposite direction. So on this time frame, silver looks really bullish, and I wouldn't be surprised if silver were to get to these prior lows that were created in 2012, 2011, around 26, or potentially even higher over time, 27, call that 28. So those will be the next major bullish targets. Potentially silver could even do what gold is doing and head towards the 2011 high of just under 50 bucks. Obviously that's miles away from where we are at the moment, but potentially the chart tells us that it could get there in the coming months or years even. For now, the path of least resistance is clearly to the upside. What we want to see for silver on this monthly time frame is for the breakout to hold, specifically the breakout above these highs here. Okay, so this was a prior resistance range. It's broken above it, so it's possible price will may come back down to retest this zone before potentially pushing higher. As I mentioned, if you haven't already done so, you may wish to subscribe to the YouTube channel, because that's the most convenient way for you to follow what I'm doing in terms of video analysis. Okay, take care, guys. Bye bye.